Okay, let's go through this one more time.
My name is Dwibs, and I have my next destination, and this one I picked myself, is New York City. Yeah, sure, we had to fly through one of those weird rifts in the space-time continuum, but we made it. Unfortunately, we lost one of our own. Don't worry, Pedro's not dead. He just while we were flying through the dimensional portal, he found a little pocket where everything was perfect and well,
Who'd have
yeah.
thought that traversing from the DC universe to the Marvel universe could be such a rough journey? Like, from the crossovers I
Well,
saw back in
remember,
the
Joe,
90s, it's
Jack
pretty
Kirby, when
easy.
Jack Kirby idolized the New Gods, he wanted originally them to be able to
Anyway,
go use the
long
boom tools
story
to go
short,
to the
Pedro.
Marvel Universe.
Long story short, Pedro is relaxing at the cafe that sells nothing but cakes. Even the cups are made out of pastry, so he won't be joining us today. But for the rest of us, we have landed in New York City in an alternate dimension for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, released in December 2018, and that's the reason it's a Christmas pick from my end.
Well,
And
don't worry,
starring
folks. Don't worry, folks. After this commentary, we'll make sure to pick Pedro up. God forbid he fall off the sleigh again.
no, he didn't drop off the sleigh over. We dropped him off because he wanted to stay at the cafe.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's what we're
But
calling it.
whatever, who
Absolutely.
are the people behind these dweebs?
Um, it's a curious case of what TV tropes would call director displacement. In that, while the most famous people in charge of this were Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, aka the guys famous for the
The
Jump
Lego
Street
movie.
movies and the Lego movie, they weren't actually the directors, they were only producers, and Phil Lord co wrote the script to one of this film's directors, Rodney Rothman,
It's
along
sort of
with.
like M. Night Shyamalan with Devil here. He's technically not supposedly the man in charge, but come on, we all know he's really the man in the high seat.
Yeah, and it's especially true in this case. This does feel like something that Lord and Miller will come up with. And in the past, I've not exactly been on board with all of their stuff. Let's just say that much. But this is actually my favourite one that they were involved with,
Mm-hmm.
and it has got quite the cast. It's got Shamik Moore as Miles Morales, the first time on screen that Miles Morales has been the main character of a Spider-Man film instead of Peter Parker. We got Jake Johnson, Haley Steinfeld, Mahershala Ali,
And
Yes,
and
Nicolas
the
Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
finally
Oh,
getting to be Spider-Man of all
oh,
things.
and uh, and also Liev Schreiber, aka
Sabretooth.
Can I just
so that,
say that Nicolas Cage has had quite a marathon of getting roles he's wanted all this time? He got to be Superman in Teen Titans Go, a movie that turned out to actually be good, and he finally gets to be a Spider-Man in this movie, which also turned out to be good,
although this
despite some
film
fears
did,
people may have had.
yeah, I was gonna say one thing this film did have going against it a bit was the reputation of the company behind it, Sony Pictures Animation, because the film they did before this was
The
well,
Emoji Movie.
The Ratchet and
yeah,
Clank movie, yeah.
well, no, they weren't involved in that one, but they were involved in the Emoji Movie and that Nativity film.
Ugh,
Oh,
the star. So yeah, there was a lot going against this movie, which it makes it all the more an amazing story that it came out to be good. Not only that, it managed to be one of the few animated movies that actually got to dominate at the Oscars too.
That weren't from Disney or Pixar.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
All right, so let's not beat about the bush any longer. Start at the Sony logo in three, two, one, click.
It's kind of similar to the situation with Bumblebee, where even though it wasn't a Bayformers movie, a lot of people didn't see it because they were so burnt out by Bayformers that they didn't trust it.
Funny, that film also stars Haley Steinfeld.
Oh my god,
So,
a unique animation being done with the Columbia Studios
yeah,
logo.
custom Columbia logo,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Oh, God damn it! I got a botched copy of the film.
Oh no, it's a Marvel movie. Oh, sorry, in association with Marvel.
They just said that this movie has a very particular style to it, not just the art style, a general style for everything.
And I,
Everything in this movie has a reason behind it.
I'll just say right now, when I heard that the animation was going to be specifically slowed down frame rate animation, I did not have a good feeling about that because
Dragon Prince.
well, not just that, but in my experience, yeah, stuff with a slowed down frame rate here never really turned out that good. Wouldn't it be a shock that this movie managed to...
Avi Arad? No!
Also, yeah, pay
Oh,
attention
yeah.
because pretty both in the credit, well, honestly, in the entire movie, but okay.
And Chris
Hello.
Pine's voicing Peter Parker.
Huh.
Ow. Yeah.
Oh,
Coca
yeah.
Soda.
Yeah, even they
Yeah,
know
Coca
we've seen
dies,
this
go
before.
on, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, a
Tracy.
little...
Spider-Man 2 reference, Spider-Man 1
Yep.
reference.
Another Spider-Man 2 reference. Yeah, that's one great thing about...
Don't bring this up.
A little reference to people who like Spider-Man 3 like me, but yeah. And there you go, our reference that this is a Christmas movie.
The 60s show. Ew.
That
That's
looks
horrible.
terrible.
But hang on, Chris Pine, I thought you were Steve Trevor.
But yeah, pay attention because almost every frame has something to reference in the background or something. This movie is a gold mine for that kind of stuff.
We're in good hands then.
Well, yeah, Captain Kirk as Spider-Man. I'm sure everything will be hunky-dory. But here's the real main character of the film,
Someone
Miles
who-
Morales,
Yeah, someone who's not Peter Parker.
wearing Sony headphones.
Okay,
Gotta
folks.
need the product
Also,
placement.
Also, it's interesting because a few years before this, Lord and Miller actually quit Sony Pictures Animation so they could make more movies, and now here they
We're
are.
back.
Yeah.
And apparently they actually signed a deal with them to make more of these kind of films. So
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Miles Morales is off to one of those fancy schools in America where you get your
Yeah,
own room.
guess what? It's a superhero movie where someone is late.
You know, that tends to happen a lot in superhero movies for some reason. Oh my god, someone whose parents are both alive!
And in good
It's a
terms,
miracle. A Christmas miracle.
might as well at this point.
All right, so I know. Okay, wait, question. I know Miles's dad's a policeman, but what's his mum do?
She works at a hospital.
Yeah,
Okay.
she thinks she's a nurse.
Thank God she's alive in this version, seeing as how in the comics she eventually got killed.
Yeah, might as well establish for the people who may be confused. For the purpose of, remember the whole mantra when Marvel canonizes everything, for the purpose of everything, consider this an alternate version of the Ultimate Universe for intents and purposes.
The Ultimate Universe, for those who don't know, was essentially Marvel's take at the time to get people into comics by having sort of a rebooted universe of sorts. One that was
Yeah,
quote-unquote
fresh take.
more realistic. And I'll admit, it is thanks to Ultimate Spider-Man that I got into regular Spider-Man and the rest of the Marvel Universe as an extension.
Is this legal? Driving in a cop car to go to school?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Like,
what if it's like
also-
you're arresting your own son? What's wrong with you?
It's
I'm
okay,
more
he's not in
concerned
handcuffs.
if he gets an emergency call at the radio. There's Spider-Man.
Yeah, the cars are only, on duty when they're asked to be, so.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man's a vigilante, and cops don't like him.
Oh wait, someone else other than JJJ who doesn't like Spider-Man? That's gotta be new.
But yeah, he kind of fucked up the phrasing.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this cop is actually loyal to the law, even himself.
I'll admit, one thing that always did sort of catch me off was that, well, for the first part of this movie, a lot of it looks like it's shot in 3D, with the red and blue outlines to characters. It's so weird.
It has this clear stylistic that is based mostly on graffiti, slightly urban style, kind of like a Jet Set Radio in some kind of way.
The interesting thing is that filter is mainly for the glass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are your thoughts, Roy?
On
Can
what,
you actually?
sorry?
The looks.
I haven't read them.
No, the looks, not the
The
books.
how the movie looks.
Oh, I liked it a lot more after the fact because I didn't find out why it was the way it was until then.
Yeah.
Because up until I found out the
What?
reason.
You know, like that, everyone in that little street can hear you.
That's the point.
Oh, God.
Cover of the year.
Well, hey, at least he's a father who cares for his son. I cannot tell you how much we get these parents who do not care for their kids in superhero comics and movies. It's my choice, dang it.
Jesus.
Yeah, so this is the shut up kids, you gotta try and learn something chapter.
Pretty much.
Anyway, sure, you were saying?
Sorry?
Oh, you were talking
No,
about...
the fact that you need to wait and learn about how the movie was made.
Yes, and like up until then, I thought they'd kind of gone for an almost stop motion kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit, when I saw this movie for the first time, I thought, was I supposed to get 3D glasses or something?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I didn't even watch the 3D version in the cinema.
Yeah, that must be quite interesting
Yeah,
watching this movie in
just
3D.
go to your post, smartass.
I wonder who this woman is.
Someone who looks very quirky and
Beast
she's got
Family
purple hair.
Foundation.
She's clearly a Holdo fan.
God.
Oh, she works
Oh,
at
Alchemax.
Alchemax.
I'm sure it's such a trustworthy company.
Well, Teal, according to Spider-Man
Edge of Time.
Edge of Time, it's run by a familiar character, though to say who that is would spoil our inevitable
An interesting,
commentary.
another thing that's funny, the timing of this film's release was also kind of interesting because like barely a couple of months before this film, Venom came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, luckily,
Wow, I wish that purposely failing for me would allow my teacher to just give me 100 out of 100. Of course, she did assign him a personal essay.
Now, luckily for Sony, Venom actually turned out quite a box office smash.
Yeah.
Why do I get the feeling that for the inevitable sequel, they're not going to be able to replicate that success because they probably do.
Andy
if it's a good
Serkis is
film,
directing
then-
it, so I wonder.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, that is the most bizarre. That is the most bizarre film announcement I heard this year.
Venom 2,
directed by Andy Serkis.
Okay, on the one hand, yeah, Andy Serkis is probably a great guy to direct something that involves as much motion capture and stuff as that. Oh!
So, Miles, let's just say that Miles has someone who can relate to. His uncle.
Who is played by superstar Maharshi Masala Ali.
Marshall, who's going to be playing Blade in Phase 5, I think,
of the MCU, yeah.
A future film, but his brother don't really like him all that much, mainly because he views him as
a bad influence for Miles.
Well, yeah, he is Aaron Davis, who you may remember was played by Donald Glover in the MCU, which may or may not be hinting at us getting Miles Morales in the MCU as well.
If you read the comics, you know already what his deal may be, but for the purpose of this movie, just wait and see.
Yeah. Does that work for any of you guys?
And a meme was born.
How does that work? And how did that work out for you? Well, let's hear this half this movie is made out of memes.
There's an art to this.
Yeah, there's an art. You need to be very specific.
Oh God, Miles, give it some work.
Seriously, you're perfectly for a seat combo.
for graffiti.
Oh yeah, his uncle is apparently a graffiti artist. Good to know. Okay, I need to ask Jova, is there any security at all in the subway in New York? Because in mine, you can get like one step outside of the boundaries without getting noticed.
Well, it's only the city that never sleeps, so clearly there is no security in one of the most busiest subways in the
Oh,
world.
damn it, Miles.
Ah, there's that iconic laugh that Ali is good at.
The London Underground looks more protected than this.
Fun fact, actually, Ali has already been in the MCU as Cottonmouth in the Luke Cage show. He was great in that. For the first half of the show that he was in.
Oop.
Shape your own story. I'll admit the soundtrack for this movie is pretty good. I mean, yeah, obviously a lot of it is...
What's this?
Oh.
A glitching spider.
Guys, you didn't tell me that part of the Spider-Man story was he was spray painting and got bit by a spider.
Well, because this is not how the story usually goes, Dibs. That's kind of a point.
Obviously, they made a few changes to Miles Morales' backstory.
Also, considering
to make
Java, considering the colors of the spider and the fact that it's supposed to be an Alchemax product, I wonder if it's intentionally referencing the 2099 stuff.
Would not surprise me, especially considering how this movie ends. Whoops. Bite averted. Back when your dad was cool.
Yeah, imagine that in the interviews when you tried to become a police officer. I did graffiti. All right, you're under arrest.
I was a former criminal.
You're under arrest for admitting to defacing public property.
Maybe he was never caught.
I'm pretty sure he might have had to tell someone that he did something.
You'd be surprised. Expectations.
Cha-ching. Oh, hello.
Oh, and another thing interesting about the presentation of this movie, it's presented like a comic book, and not. Okay, now a lot of people are like,
Hulk.
It's not like Ang Lee's Hulk either. Where I mean, it works better in animation than it does in live action. I think.
I love how he's so nonchalant about getting bitten by a spider.
Also, his roommate seems to be. Let me check what he's doing on the PC, because I noticed like a 3C program. It's like using Sony Vegas. Wouldn't surprise me. Sony and all.
Jova, the spiders that you get in New York dangerous in any particular way?
For the most part, not really.
I can imagine someone may have a pet tarantula here and there.
Oh.
That's probably why he wasn't so bothered by it.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're getting I'm sorry, Dwibs. I thought this was a Spider-Man story, not Deadpool.
Yeah, okay. Like Dwibs has said, this movie functions like a comic book actually rather well. It actually ties it into the story in a sense.
Classic.
Yeah. Miles, please shut
you
up.
You need to revise your diplomacy skills.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you just say something like Gwen?
Oh, Gwanda. From South Africa.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say no
because
accent.
you're coming from Wakanda?
Oh, it's okay. She has no accent because she was raised here. Oh, no.
Calm down.
No, bad idea, Miles.
Miles,
My head
no!
is moving on its own.
Miles, no!
Wanda? Oh, God, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah,
and she has the exact face as you'd expect.
Uh-oh. I'm trying.
Oh, this is awkward.
See, this is symbolic of Miles having to accept things, and no, not really.
It's stuff going wrong because...
Wow. I remember when my puberty was like that. Well, okay, not so much like that. I just ended up flying and shooting lasers out of my eyes.
That's totally what happens.
Oh dear.
Well, yeah. Now I've lost half of my hair. Now go away.
Don't worry, sweetie. You're gonna be excellent for a Captain Marvel cosplay.
Or you can make it work. So
Maybe just go and wash your hands.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, the walk of shame.
Joe, this isn't the weakest link. What are you talking about?
What's with the Catherine style close up? Oh.
just don't think. It's fine. Thinking is bad for you.
Oh great.
Terrible.
His office. Sold you out.
Hey, some promotional material.
In case you're wondering who the composer for this song is it's Daniel Pemberton, an English composer, funnily enough. Did the scores for Man from U.N.C.L.E. and King Arthur Legend of the Sword before this, among other films. And he's also composing the upcoming Birds of Prey movie.
Also, there's a Hang in There Kitty poster.
Yeah. Excuse me, teacher, what is the banging on the window part of the exam?
Thank God my room happened to be on this floor.
Oh, how convenient. An exposition comic.
Hey, Logan did that first, you hacks.
No, Dweebs, because in this case, Miles is not insulting the comic.
The two Spider-Men.
It's an actual issue of the Ultimate Universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, radioactive spiders have a tendency to want to bite people. Later that night, Miles
Yay,
searches
you
for
didn't die.
answers. Bendis, cute.
Michael Bendis, no, that's the last person you should tell.
But Tio, he created Ultimate Spider-Man, so surely he would have the answers.
Let that man stop doing things, please.
He's currently doing Superman, last I checked.
Uh,
You know, writers tend to ping-pong between DC and Marvel a lot.
I remember, Joe, Rob Liefeld has done a lot of Marvel stuff recently.
Yeah.
Maybe they're freelance.
Funny,
Sometimes
because...
that. Well, that's the thing, Weaves. Ever since he was kicked out of Image Comics, Rob Liefeld has been freelance.
Ironic how he left the mainstream comic book industry to, help create Image Comics only to get booted out of them. Like,
It's become mostly his fault, but it's a huge story.
whoop!
That's not normal.
Again, it sucks to be the radioactive spider in these stories because they always die.
Hey?
It's just voices in your head, Miles. It's okay. Maybe not.
Yeah, apparently, in this continuity, the Green Goblin is much, much more than he looks.
So, yeah, they took a look at the ultimate version of Goblin and thought, you know what? We can go even more draconic. Like, Yeah,
This is like a gargoyle or something.
kind of like a dragon too in some cases, but yeah.
Oh shit. I'm more baffled by how this particular place was connected to the subway.
Honestly, the weirdest looking Green Goblin to me was the one from that musical.
Oh, that. Wait, you've seen that?
I've
Yes,
seen
Java.
bits and
I think that's
pieces.
the third time that you and Dweebs had this conversation. Oh shit. So yeah, apparently the subway is connected to an Alchemax facility.
I guess that would
What?
explain why there was no security that way.
And that's the most of the you've seen of Green Goblin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure since now I think he drops from the movie. Or at least after this major scene. Oop.
It's a choice. Oh?
It was written in the script.
You are the chosen one.
I can help you. I can mentor you about this and everything.
Not to worry. My name is James Tiberius Kirk, and I'm here to help you.
Wow, the space-time continuum collapsing. Yeah, he is James T. Kirk.
It's not this time. It's not even the fault of a tablet of order and chaos. Figures. Yeah, it might as well mention it here. The title is a reference to a major comic book event that, similar to Civil War in this case, the adaptation is better than the source material. In a sense, but after Shattered Dimension, Marvel said they had no intention of doing a crossover like this, but lo and behold, a couple of years later, things got delivered. Also, Villeneuve introduction, the Prowler, and I actually really like how this costume that he has here.
Yeah, Prowler's an interesting character. In the mainline universe, he is a sort of burglar/thief who eventually reforms and becomes a good guy. In the Ultimate Universe, well, shoot, I don't recall if they ever got him into the Ultimate Universe.
Yes, Jova, he is in the Ultimate Universe.
Oh,
for a
wait,
very
that's
good
right,
reason.
he is. Never mind. Yeah,
Oh,
nearly forgot.
there's a Green Goblin.
Oh, there it is, the Kingpin.
Yeah, well, like I said, voiced by Liev Schreiber.
Yep.
And here he's literally an absolute unit. Seriously, the proportions of him are just made sure to make him so imposing.
I know, right?
And they make sure to emphasize that with the direction.
Although
Yeah.
it is kind of weird coming off of Vincent D'Onofrio's performance as the character in the MCU Netflix show.
Mm-hmm. No, dubstep! Ah! We have a 616, 69. Yeah, they couldn't count all of them.
1991.
Should we hey, maybe we'll open the universe to one of the other film universes.
Unfortunately, no.
Aw.
Basically, it was similar to a comic book event called The Exile. Well, not event, but a series called The
Oh,
Exile.
there you go. Norman Osborn was knocked out by a tile.
When they have
I thought
crossovers
he
like
wore a
this,
costume.
when they have crossovers like this, unless they mention it specifically, it applies to the logic that the universes that collide are become split alternate versions similar to their original counterpart that get split immediately due to the event happening. It's a bit complicated, but I'll mention more later. Oh no.
Oh, boy.
Ow.
Of course, it
Okay.
being New York means that the power is back on in just about a second.
Does New York have like the world's biggest emergency power generator?
Most likely. Considering how big it is and how many important facilities are there, emergency generators need to be a must-have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Spider-Man. Not exactly in good shape. But what's this? This Spider-Man has blue eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't worry, I have played Spider-Man PS4.
But yeah, the important thing this movie really emphasizes the meaning behind the secret identity. And the Kingpin is a good villain to counterpart to that.
Totally. It's gonna be okay, kid. I promise. Though, just in case it's not, with great power comes great responsibility. There you go, the main lesson. Oh, Tombstone.
I kind of find it funny, but between this movie and the PS4 game, Tombstone is getting more recognition.
Yeah.
All things.
He actually had pretty good recognition in Spectacular Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, mind you, oh, look at that, this Peter Parker is blonde.
Huh.
But mind you, Tombstone is not necessarily that special. He is essentially a mafia lieutenant when you get down to it.
Uh-oh.
No, it's no one you Spider-Man.
Your mom. Oh. I mean, you might as well say that as last words.
Whack.
Yeah, if there's one thing that Kingpin loves to do is sometimes to finish the job himself.
Oops.
For fuck's sake, Miles.
Yeah, Prowler's very efficient about his work, needless to say.
It's very fast.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Quick, run away from the dubstep.
I'll admit,
most of his powers come from gadgets, basically.
Well then, Joe, but about the whole thing about alternate universes, considering the MCU's starting to get into that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it hasn't yet, but yeah, it could end up doing that. Again, I would not be surprised if we do eventually, see the MCU version show up in a sequel, maybe.
Well, I mean, technically, the current MCU Spider-Man films are getting released by Sony Pictures, so
That's true. Mind you, lives the ones that have more, more fair game more than anything else are of course the comics, which is, for example, symbolized by how the Spider-Verse crossover sequel in the comics actually had the PS4 version of Spider-Man on the PS4 game.
Oh yeah, let's just say the Spider-Verse the movie is way better than the comic. Basically, Spider-Verse the comic was essentially, let's show how many Spider-Man we can show off before killing them.
Mind you, it has still these awesome moments like showcasing finally Takuhiro Yamashita, the Sentai Spider-Man.
And thank God they didn't kill him.
No.
Yeah, some crap's going down and I don't know what to do.
I had a bad dream where me and my dad had a strained relationship and my mom was killed by this weird black symbiote guy. Like, Ultimate Universe, I love you for creating Miles, but man, did you have a dork age with him.
Yeah, in general, Miles at the beginning was a bit rough around the edges in terms of the Ultimate Spider-Man run.
He suffered what we like to call early Jason Todd syndrome, in the sense where he was kind of a carbon copy of Peter Parker until they did stuff to differentiate him, and by that, it means make his life even more crap in some ways.
Well, I mean, as this movie itself will mention later, it has to be a custom for a Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it was kind of ridiculous in the Ultimate Universe. Now, granted, they did do interesting stuff with him and his father. It's just
Not
it was
to
a bit
mention that
cliche
just
to have a parent who was
still
dead.
it was still in the period where the Ultimate Universe was thinking that the idea of making things more realistic was to make things more miserable and depressing. Also, cannibalism.
Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, Spider-Man has died because of injuries involving a powerful earthquake.
If only there was that devil-like equivalent entity to which I could make a deal with.
It's funny you mention that, what we're going to learn later in this movie.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't do a little dig at the Spider-Man musical. Mind you, I think Sesame Street did a bang up enough job of that already, so...
Well, if anything, they do take digs at One More Day.
Sesame Street made fun of the Spider-Man musical?
Yeah.
Really? How did they do that, I wonder?
And yeah,
Well, they take the piss out of everything that went wrong.
And yeah, in this continuity, he was even married to Mary Jane.
Wow!
Hi, Stan.
Hi, Stan.
He's not lying, you know. In Spider-Man PS4, he is friends with Stan Lee.
No returns or refunds.
Ha!
Perfect.
So yeah, needless to say, his wife isn't exactly.
I actually kind of like the idea that Spider-Man has so many fans that potentially at his funeral will show up with his mask on.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh, duh.
Who invited you? Shush.
What's Spider? Oh well, I see. I couldn't understand the point at first. I was looking up the Spider-Verse comic on Wikipedia.
Oh, good. A little monster
Spider-Geddon.
Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, Spider-Geddon is the name of the sequel.
Ugh. And you can guess what that means by that name.
Well, to be honest, Joel, my friend who also was checked it out apparently told me that the only casualties are the one that happened in the first issue. Mind you, bullshit.
Yeah, nope. That's the
Bullshit.
thing, though. They killed Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, in Spider UK.
Like,
Okay, for real,
Try a
Lisa.
trampoline.
I'm back.
Whoops! Okay, Miles, we have to
Miles
talk about
died.
this whole once you tied thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
And he injured himself.
Ow.
Thank goodness
Not
for
just
spider
that,
healing.
He didn't necessarily injured himself,
And
but he
he
broke the
broke
key.
it.
Damn it.
You know, he could have put it somewhere else.
Not exactly the best start. Oh,
Well, so
casino.
now the world's
Spider-Man.
fucked.
Spider-Man wrecking stuff because he
See,
can.
guys, it's totally a Christmas movie now.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, there's my excuse. Not only did it come out in December, but it had scenes in the snow.
And let's not forget the Christmas jingles. Don't forget the
Yes.
Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Also, graveyards are very Christmassy.
Oh,
Also,
even the Daily Bugle left a little
Yeah.
tribute
Also,
for him.
but I'm more baffled by seriously, Peter Parker did not get a mausoleum. I think with fan donations, he would have got enough funds for that.
You'd
Just a
think.
common tomb. Oh,
What was that came behind?
Oh, snap.
it's an easy to snap.
Prowler! Okay, maybe not.
Whoa.
Oh. God damn it, you killed Spider-Man again.
I mean, why would you sneak up on somebody in the dead of night at a graveyard?
With a trench coat like that.
We're about to find out why.
Especially when the person you're sneaking up on is a child.
One last time.
Yep, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, Peter B. Parker. Yeah, we get that.
Ideally, this should be the 616.
Coca-Cola.
It
Yeah,
kind of
six-
is.
But again, like I mentioned, I imagine the fact that this dimensional splitting had split the 616 timeline into two: the one that we know from the comics, and the one in which what happens to Peter here.
This is essentially what fans would have preferred to have happened instead of One More Day. Oh, and also Civil War's Spider-Man stuff.
Oh, and Ant-Man even died here.
Wait, you're telling me that he didn't go to the devil in order to have his aunt revived?
It's not just that. Him and Mary Jane actually split up, and Peter...
Divorced even.
Yeah, and Peter got... reacted in a terrible way.
Oh, no.
But honestly, he's not even that unfit. He just has a bit of a belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is surprisingly realistic about how, hey, just because,
Well, okay, Peter, just be glad that we're not running on the idea that Spider-Man Rain had, because otherwise it would have been very, very bad. It was shooting just great
Also,
stuff.
wow, a Peter Parker who isn't a teenager.
No, not my pizza!
Well, actually, we had him a bit earlier on.
Oh, snap. So yeah, basically, how to describe this? This is essentially 616 Spider-Man if, the company, at the very least, handled the whole One More Day thing a lot better.
Losh.
No, I remember reading how, Marvel's trying so hard to make Spider-Man relatable with their, teenage Tom Holland when what turned out to be the most relatable Spider-Man is somebody going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Oops. Coca soda.
Hold your horses.
I think
Oh my
that
god,
was
we're on the
another
set of
cameo.
Amazing Spider-Man 2!
Also, there was a Dusty Sean board.
Yeah. Wait. A perfect Spider-Man is one who's dead?
Also, Daves, was the Cornetto trilogy published by Sony?
Sorry?
Was the Cornetto trilogy produced by Sony?
No, Universal.
Interesting cameo, then.
So who
And that's how we
voices
got
Peter
here.
B. Parker?
Oh no. We don't really want to see some police brutality on a kid in New York, please. See? It's because they're tangled together, like fate. So, it's so deep.
Kid, stop carrying that unconscious man! How strong are you?
How was that kid carrying that unconscious?
Not that
Oh,
strong.
fuck.
Well,
Don't,
that's,
sure. Haven't you heard? He's got radioactive blood.
The police don't know that.
That's because they haven't heard, unlike us.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Meet. Oh! Sorry, Peter Parker!
Peter B. Parker.
Well, yeah, and also the Peter Parker's gravely may have desecrated. That's gotta be something saying. The last thing he saw before getting knocked out was his name on a headstone.
This was the scene that was playing during the credits of Venom.
Yeah.
Ow! No, it takes a lot more to kill a Spider-Man. You'd be surprised what you can live through. Oh god, they think they killed him!
True.
This is what trying to save me is like, then what's trying to kill me? Don't even question it.
It's no
Don't
math.
even question it.
I love how that guy's like, well, I didn't need that sleep anyway tonight.
Don't mind people, just a flash mob.
Thank you.
Well, that's the end of the movie. What are your final thoughts, guys?
Good night,
It was a
New
short
York.
experience.
Where's the rebel base?
What?
And now Miles Morales is holding a frying pan.
Wow, Miles.
Oh god. It's funny you
Yeah,
mentioned
that's
zombies.
Marvel Zombies is another thing, Miles, don't worry.
It's funny because Marvel Zombies were reached originally as an attempt for the
From the
original
Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Reed Richards and his eternal quest of being the worst scientist ever.
Yeah.
Damn.
Even when he's a bit out of shape, he is still. Okay, this is the thing. Apparently, ones that Spider-Man that
are not
from
a
this
native from
dimension
this dimension, yeah.
glitch out like that when they try and use their powers, but I think it's a bit inconsistent.
It's more like
There are times when they swing and it doesn't affect them.
it's more like of a case that just their mere presence here is affecting them, and the more they stay, the more worse it will get.
Oh, I love how he says, "Don't you dare say it. We've heard it before." I can sort of see where Peter's coming from. Let's just say, at this point in his life, if the comics are anything to... Oh, okay, actually, at this time, things weren't as good as they are now in the comics for him. Get this! In the current comics, Peter actually seems to be getting back with Mary Jane.
Again, the job that they've been teased for so many times, like, just...
I mean, it doesn't help
No.
that for once it seems like his life is getting back on track in the 616 universe. That's just the thing. Every time his life seems like it's getting back on track, something, and I mean something, always has to ruin stuff. The less said about Superior Spider-Man, the better. It was an interesting idea. It's just, it was in the
Dean's
616 universe.
His own eternal quest, in this case, hating on Peter Parker.
And
Not
they
even-
tried to
not
claim
even
like that was...
Spider-Man, just Peter Parker.
I love how they tried to claim like that thing was gonna be permanent in the 616
Yeah,
universe.
sure.
Like, yeah. Like us killing Peter Parker in the 616 universe, not too long after we killed him in the Ultimate Universe, only to have Dr. Octopus steal his body and get away with it. Yeah. Right.
Yes, it is.
God dang
And this is Peter Parker going through his midlife crisis, apparently.
Besides his usual guilt tripping.
Yeah.
Great, now I'm hungry.
I don't know if watching a close-up of Peter Parker stuffing his mouth with a
Oh,
burger and
dear.
talking with his mouth full, it's not exactly,
Pleasant.
food inviting. I need to be prepared for the Christmas feast besides.
Way too much food at Christmas.
So double-edged sword, Shiro. It can be good, could be bad for you.
Oh god, the chafing.
There's a lot of cheese, so definitely bad.
Ah. Although, to his credit, there's not that many buildings to swing off of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think those trees are big enough.
It's only the video games rules Spider-Man decides to sometimes use moon swinging.
Yeah.
Also, the people on the bus were
What's-
probably
yeah, no
wondering what the
case.
hell he was talking about.
Just
But the Incredibles
okay.
now.
I mean,
Love
to
that.
be Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Spider-Man wearing a cape is like a recipe for disaster. Unless it's a digital cape like 2099
Also,
occasionally
yeah,
has.
that particular frame was also used for all the reaction images.
Yes.
Oh, hey, the lady in the bike.
Just typing randomly.
You just eating breakfast.
It's gonna be a test.
There's another meme for the book.
Yeah, that's the thing though. He's swinging around, and yet it's supposed to, glitch on him, but yet it isn't.
Well,
Lives,
that's
like
the
I
thing.
said,
It's not
it's
always
not tied to the
supposed to.
powers. It's just a mere presence of staying there.
Yeah.
You may not have seen the frame before, but it was glitching just by doing nothing.
Uh-oh, Kingpin's here.
Is it me, or do I feel the presence of speech bubbles behind?
Nah, boss. That's what you felt last week, and that turned out to just be gas.
Are you sure?
Yes, the entire room smelled it.
I mean, I kept seeing my wife's every time I was next to her in bed.
Yeah.
Also, Miles, you need to work on your stealth.
Yeah, seriously. Congratulations, Miles. You're doing the guild trip yourself. You're actually learning.
Aww. What is that hairdo?
How?
He has curly hair.
Yeah, blah blah blah.
Technobabble.
Oh god, these are standard Spider-Man stakes. Seriously, I once went to a planet with all these other different heroes.
Yeah.
Hey, kid, you want to hear real bad stakes? Let me tell you about the Secret Wars. Of course, that's where I got this cool black suit here. Turned out to not be that cool.
Did we needed a sound effect for typing?
Miles, are you sure this is the Spider-Man you want to be learning from?
I mean, that's his only choice anyway for now.
Oh, I don't think singing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna notice you faster.
Hey, it's working!
What was that while banging?
I know, right?
Uh-oh.
Here's an interesting thing. Miles has a bit of a different moveset than Peter Parker does.
Yeah.
One of his abilities is to have electromagnetic stingers, which work as a poison, and another, in this case, is to turn invisible.
No, you're not supposed
Oh
to.
boy, here we
no.
go. You are clearly a zombie! Wow, I even got to peer under the mask and everything! Yes, dimensional warping!
Yeah, totally because of that.
Yeah.
That's not the right question, Peter.
You deserve everything you're gonna get.
Oh
What
god.
the
Oh
fuck?
damn. She's
She's
horribly
one of those
unorganized.
people.
Oh.
Just press the search feature.
You don't need the monitor, Miles.
There's nothing on the monitor. It is just a monitor.
Ooh. Eh?
Excuse me.
Okay!
Yeah, Doc Ock's the woman in this continuity.
Well, she does have purple hair, just like her 616 counterpart.
Although her tentacles are more plastic, like.
So yeah, I'll admit, that was a legit twist, like, okay, there was a certain twist that anyone who's a comic book fan would have expected. As for this, though, no one saw that one coming.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Gwen Stacy? I thought you were supposed to be dead.
About that, in the Ultimate Universe, Gwen Stacy does die. She gets killed by Carnage, but then gets brought back as a Carnage clone.
Yeah, that
Well,
shit
I thought
happened.
last time we saw Gwen Stacy on film, she fell to her death.
Different universe, thank God.
What that be? So I mean, Jonah, if that
Cafeteria.
Hi, everyone.
if that recent crossover could bring, if that recent DC TV, okay, well, Jonah, if that recent TV DC crossover could bring back,
Oh,
Superman,
snap, they're packing heat!
Anyway, Jonah,
Yeah.
if that DC TV crossover can bring back the Superman from Superman Returns, what's to stop them bringing Andrew Garfield in for something?
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do that, though.
Well,
then
the
again, let's not
first
forget the
time-
fact that Andrew Garfield kind of pissed off the president of Sony.
Not just that, Dweebs. But anyway, Dweebs, the first comic book, Spider-Verse crossover, they actually do mention the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Just in a sense of cameo, like one of the Spider-Man is like, hey, aren't those... we don't even mention properly by name. They say, like, mention the roles that they had. Like, wasn't that guy that was in that movie? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, snap. Okay, I'll admit the design for Lady Ock in this movie is pretty cool. It's quite an interesting amalgamation, though. They take some things from the 616 universe and basically make them native to the Ultimate Universe. So I guess technically this is gonna be like what? Universe 1667?
I guess.
I mean, everything is canon, so you tell me.
Sure, even the rides have a canon universe.
That's commitment.
Yep. Flip and release.
That's the power of teamwork.
Whip,
Whip,
Stir whip.
Oh, even you know that one, Shiroi.
Unfortunately.
Wow. How did you end up
Look
seeing
where
it?
you're swinging, man.
Hey, we're having a moment here. Don't!
I guess, Joe, that moment was a bit too bro for it.
Oh dear.
Ah, crap.
Shit. Okay, it's time for the one who stole most of the merchandising and, became super popular thanks to both this and the actual, Spider-Verse crossover, Spider-Gwen.
Basically, for a moment of time, there was a very, very, very popular time for Gwen Stacy, where essentially, in tribute for Gwen Stacy, who, as you know, dies in the 616 universe, they had her taking the place of a lot of superheroes for different comics. Like, for one comic book cover, she starred as the Hulk. Yeah, that.
Yeah,
There was
One
another one where
last
she
time.
was
One last
Wolverine.
time.
We all know you as Spider-Gwen. From dying.
Lizard, of the Lizard.
Here's the thing, in her universe, Peter Parker ends up becoming the Lizard
Yeah.
and dies on the bridge. Yes, the same bridge.
No worries, Willie, who we shipped very heavily with Gwenpool.
Yes, that's another thing. Now, okay, out of all the Gwen things where she ended up replacing, the covers of superheroes, be it Spider-Man, Wolverine, the Hulk, or Black Widow, oh, hi Sony product placement.
It's Sony themselves.
Yeah. Basically, Gwen ended up getting two very, very, very popular alternate takes. One where she was Spider-Gwen, and another where she was Gwenpool. Basically, Dwibs, imagine Gwen Stacy, but as Deadpool.
Sure.
It's actually pretty popular, believe it or not.
Yeah, you caused this haircut, you little
Save it for... What's Comic-Con? You don't have that in your universe? For shame.
Then man, this universe sucks. Seriously.
What do you do for fun?
Wilson? Oh, right.
This is one of those universes where his wife doesn't take kindly to his criminal acts. Funny, because in the MCU, she's all in on that stuff.
And yeah, they don't look where they're going. And
Yeah, and they both died.
so the moral of the story, no matter what situation you're in, look where you're bloody going when you're driving.
But yeah, the Kingpin here clearly hasn't...
Oh, poor
Yeah,
Tombstone.
Tombstone, what are you doing? Kingpin here has to, instead of accepting the death of his wife and child, decides to, build up the interdimensional portal in order to try to bring alternate universe versions of them. Jesus.
That's one thing about Kingpin. When he finds someone he loves, he will do anything to keep that person from dying. Like in the Ultimate
therapist.
In the Ultimate Universe, he's constantly chasing after a tablet just to revive his wife,
Fine.
Vanessa, who's in a coma. Of course, let's just say he and Catwoman have a Black Cat have a tussle over that.
Hey, Java, how about that time he voluntarily had his wife have a relationship with Elektra to have some relationship with the Hand Clan?
That was interesting. Didn't quite end so well, though. It's funny, something about your friend reminds him of my friend, who may or may not have been my boyfriend, but I wouldn't want to mention that because that might make it a little too obvious to the audience.
I'd love to,
Well,
but I'm not
you seriously are terrible at your social skills. Come on.
Meanwhile, in Queens, yeah, so we're in Queens.
I wonder where.
Back here.
This looks a lot similar to a place in the Raimi movies, doesn't it, to you?
Well, it doesn't have a bigger garden like there, but still, yeah.
Imagine
Yes,
opening the door to this
May.
bunch.
Yes. I'm not quite your Peter, but yeah. Yeah. My
You
wife
look like
left
shit,
me.
mate.
I tried to run a Spider-Man restaurant and it failed.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing that they kept from the Ultimate Universe. Aunt May is quite a sass talker in that universe.
Oh yeah, the Brooklyn dimension.
I guess you could count New York in and of itself as another dimension.
The Goober is called a USB stick.
Yes, apparently, of all things in this continuity, Peter had a spider cave.
No, Tio. It's just a shed where he keeps his spider gear, according to Peter B. Parker.
Seriously.
Oh, wait. Just to remind you, Peter, you are not the perfect Spider-Man.
You're just jealous.
Oh my OMG, this is totally ripping off the Batcave.
Also, safety
Oh, the
first,
Spider-Mobile! Hey!
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite. Hey, oh look at
And
that! The
also-
PS4 Spider-Man
Yeah, all the
costume.
cameo suits are back, like the Iron Spider armor, the Stealth 2099 armor.
They even got one that looks like the Nightwing costume. Huh.
Peter, she's not your wife, so
Yeah.
She looks exactly like it, and he's still in love with
See,
her.
that was the time he was the Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh my god. When he did have a cape, that
Long
was
stories.
yeah, for any
That
comic
was the
book fan,
Omega
this
Force
is a
costume.
peek
Yeah,
at-
these are so many references.
Oh, the Raimi Spider-Man costume. Hi, Hammerhead. Oh, the rose.
yeah, there's
Okay,
Yeah.
here we
name
go.
tags. So yeah, Nicolas Cage.
Spider-Man Noir.
He may
Amazing.
be quite possibly my favorite Spider-Man in this movie.
Which is
And-
funny because earlier in the year,
It's also
Nicolas
very
Cage was in
potentially.
Teen Titans Go.
Anime! Anime has infiltrated the
Anime
chat!
Penny
Spider-
Parker from the Mangaverse.
You
And,
had to say it.
Pig.
Yeah, Spider Pig.
Peter
Voiced by John
Porker.
Mulaney.
I don't believe you.
Basically, these three are gonna be more of a supportive role. The more development was gonna be about the three that we just had. But anyway, let's go one last time. Yeah.
Radioactive Spider. Yeah, little pig.
Oh. I love this take on Spider-Man Noir. It's actually the same Spider-Man Noir from the Ultimate Spider-Man TV series, and for as much as people don't like that TV series, a lot of people do agree that their design for Spider-Man Noir, complete with the coat and the hat, is brilliant.
Daily Beagle.
Yes. Basically, in this means Spider Pig's dimension, everything is an animal or an animal pun.
Yep. Basically, in that universe, Mary Jane is a swan, but their daughter is a pig still.
Yeah.
Of course, Penny Parker has her
Aw.
spider bot. She's an
And I'll say-
interesting
and I'll
Which
say-
case.
It's
contains the
interesting.
soul of her dad.
As I was saying earlier, it was an interesting year for Nicolas Cage in comic book films because earlier in the year he was in Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Yeah, I mentioned that already. But yeah, like I said, 2018 was quite a year for Nicolas Cage getting to be characters that he
And
wanted to be.
apparently, he's about to star instead in a movie, but it's about himself, sorta. It's
Oh,
weird.
wait, a story about the life and times of Nicolas Cage?
Sorta,
How has
I guess,
that
but
not happened already?
it's more of a something in production at the moment. Yeah, totally. Any minute now.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Yeah, the electromagnetic thing.
Yeah.
Interesting spin on it.
Look, kid, we can't go all Star Wars Force Awakens with you and just let you do that. You gotta actually earn your abilities. Why do I get the feeling Nicolas Cage has been dreaming to be able to say those very lines?
Oof.
Oh. Oh, God. Oh, dang on me. That's a
TMI,
trick
no
question.
way.
That one
TMI.
wasn't exactly fair.
Just kick him while he's
We're
down.
all
Why
gonna,
don't
we're all
we?
gonna beat the shit out of you.
Oh, that's kind of what life is like for a Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're desperate to get back, but you're a bit hard, aren't you? Just piling it on all at once.
Ouch.
I mean, he's been at this for like just a week.
Well, that's the thing. We're actually not that much issue in terms like that. We're just, realizing that for doing this big thing, we may actually endanger him.
Now we
Yeah.
can turn it. Now we can turn it as all. Yeah, it turns out maybe all of a sudden, pounding it on him wasn't a good idea.
Oh, this is awkward.
Steve Ditko, eh?
Ah, cute.
Wow, he's gotten so desperate he has to call his brother.
Yeah.
Steve
It's long
Ditko is
already.
definitely one of the most influential Marvel writers, though, for sure.
Well, more like artist, too. I think.
He actually studied under Batman artist Jerry Robinson, the cartoonist. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no, the
Oh,
powers
God.
come to kill his uncle.
Hello
Yeah,
there.
in the shadows there a bit, it kind of looked like Deadpool, the cape.
I thought you said he was gonna look like Batman, but yeah, that too.
Well, Marvel, so.
Yeah, Prowler definitely went to the same school of making costumes as Spider-Man and Deadpool.
Yeah.
I'd love that, actually, if in the future one of these movies, there's a Deadpool cameo in it.
Ooh.
It's not like they'd have to go through Fox anymore, is it?
Hmm.
Dun,
Yes,
Oh,
I-
snap.
dun.
Meet the
Yeah.
Prowler, Aaron Davis. Now, here's an interesting thing about Miles. His uncle kinda was a supervillain.
There you go. Wait, my bush moved.
Kinda sucks when one of your relatives is a villain out to hunt you down.
Especially when it's the one you look up to the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you thought Harry
weird.
Osborn had it rough. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Are we gonna say Harry Potter?
That would imply Voldemort is his uncle or something.
I mean, who knows what happened with Cursed Child, right?
Oh, God. You're right. Actually, as a cursed child, for all we know, Voldemort could now be his uncle. We have got to commentate on this.
Voldemort.
Oh, ain't that cute? Red X instead of FedEx.
Well, I mean, Sony already has enough sponsors. They have Coca-Cola in there as well, which is it's funny because Coca-Cola used to own Columbia Pictures.
You know what's
Really?
Well, I'm
funny?
drinking Pepsi.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
You know, it's
Yeah.
funny seeing Prowler chase down Miles Morales, seeing as how originally in like one of the promo trailers, originally it was Miles chasing down Prowler, but instead now we see it's about a Miles cowering the fudge away from Prowler.
So, yep. With the power of anime, I will repair this fake.
She's here to chew bubblegum and fix circuitry, folks.
Yeah. The other thing, apparently, Penny Parker wasn't all that well known.
No.
In the thing, it was this film that helped people. People actually recognize her, and also she was in more of this than the original Spider-Verse comic.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It helped to differentiate a bit.
Yeah, this is not the time.
No, see, a hardcore origin story is a part of what it means to be Spider-Man,
Oh, no.
so the kid is finally getting it. Oh, they rung the
Oh,
doorbell.
she-
Excuse me.
the bell
Do you have a minute?
Oh, snap.
Also, hey, Tombstone, you have a line. And also Scorpion.
He speaks Spanish in this film. Yeah, using the furniture to protect yourself.
Let's just say Penny Parker was quite possibly the most talked about, aside from Spider-Gwen, of this movie, to the point where she has a subpage on Know Your Meme.
Poor Aunt May. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, now get
She's
the
not
fuck out
having
of my house.
anyone shit.
Spider-Sense.
No.
Okay, now all eyes are on you.
Yeah, Blade will go, or Blade will nick the thing off you.
Okay, they gave Scorpion cyber legs.
This is actually more like what Scorpion 2099 should have looked like.
How about that? Almost surprised they didn't bring in Scorpia. I'm talking to you now to try and reason with you. Think that you'd see the smart side of things.
You're trying to punch me.
Exactly why you should just hand it over so that I don't have to kill you. Well, you wouldn't kill your own nephew, would you?
God, no.
Shit.
Yeah, he actually wouldn't.
Oh, hi, Nike.
Not the moment.
Product, not the time for product placement.
Do it. Kill him.
Yeah, put the mask back on.
To make it
Yeah.
easier.
Hey, I was gonna do it, you know.
Sure you were.
He that dead uncle.
No, wait, maybe he'll survive.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, have the that would have been really dark if it was like, here, have your dead
He
brother
drops the
land on
corpse
your
of
roof
his
for you.
brother, yeah.
So, once again, Mahershala Ali,
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah,
Mahershala Ali once again ends up playing a character who dies for a section of the production. Just like his role as Cottonmouth.
Again,
dudes.
it's a bit of a shame because power-wise, the Prowler really looked cool.
Yeah, you know,
Alas.
it's a shame they didn't have him, redeem himself and eventually become a good guy like in 616.
No, he's got to have his own Uncle Ben moment.
Yeah. The movie will actually make it a plot point.
Yeah. I'll give him this, though. It's an interesting twist, seeing as how Uncle Ben wasn't a psycho bounty hunter out to kill, unknowingly, his nephew. So yeah, not even a with great power comes great responsibility, but just keep going.
Mm.
Well, this day can't get any worse, can it? Oh wait, yes it can.
Oh. I see Spider-Man here. Yeah, come on. Yeah, you wouldn't put the gun at your own son, would you?
He doesn't know.
What?
Okay, that's a new one.
Well, hey, look on the bright side. You don't die.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Your
but now
brother
you
did,
think
though.
Spider-Man did it, so...
A new Spider-Man. Welcome to the initiation, kid. You gotta have the cops after you at some point in your career.
Even your own bloody dad.
Who's pretty vengeful right now.
Yeah, don't throw books out the window.
Important.
Recycle, dipshit.
What do you think?
My uncle is
This
dead.
is part of the initiation.
Here we go.
Benjamin.
Ain't that the truth? We get the spider guilt thing, trust me.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Beep.
Oh god. Yeah, yeah. Try and hide yourselves while also having to put up with that music.
Gotta give Lord and Miller credit. It takes some balls to follow up what
Oh,
essentially
Hi
was Miles's
there.
uncle getting killed off with this.
do animals talk in this dimension?
nope. Yeah, it's just being there.
Also, that's one thing I really like about the MCU is that Peter did have his Uncle Ben moment. It just didn't come in the way a lot of people expected.
Mm-hmm. I'm sacrificing myself.
Besides, it's not like I got anything left in my world anyway.
Maybe you could, get things back on track, just saying.
Maybe not open spider-themed restaurants?
Well, it helps pay the bills, I guess. Miles. That's rule number 2 about Spidey.
Yeah, you're
Never
not.
do it in anger. Hmm.
I mean, it didn't help that the other Spider-Man were kind of being pricks to him earlier.
Admittedly, though, it's Spider-Man. They want to be extra careful before they risk anyone else's life.
Yeah.
Both metaphorically and literally.
So how long will it take for them vape bonds to wear off?
Yeah, at least a few
there is
hours.
there is a specific time. I think it's like, what, 1 hour? Something.
I think
remember
it's
reading
like
a comic
8 hours,
actually
I
where
thought.
I remember reading a bit of one of the older comics where Jameson had his mouth webbed shut by him, and Peter was like, "Yeah, they won't wear off for an hour." And
Yeah.
then Jameson was running around going,
Oh shit. Oh, right. You can't.
Spider-Man. So you had your mouth. So you've been bound and gagged by a bunch of Spider-Man, a pig, an anime girl, and the
And Nicolas Cage.
yeah. Miles, I told you you're on a diet. You're not having any more regular Coke. No, there's no use moaning.
You're having Diet Coke or worse, Coke Zero.
Coke Zero is all right.
Could be worse. It's one of those Russian variants with a strawberry.
So yeah, it's a pep talk that does help Miles, albeit
Well, it's
not
also the
exactly
fact that,
how the dad envisioned.
It's also the fact that his mother needed to tell him about his uncle's death. So
Yeah.
Although he's unaware, he already knows.
yeah, exactly.
Aww.
Okay, so things could be going a little better right now.
Just a
But
bit.
now's not the time to be wallowing in one's own self-grief.
Well, not that he's got much of a choice at the minute. Oh my god, he's Electro.
No, please.
Okay, now how's he going to explain the spider webs being thrown around everywhere?
Oh, with any luck, they'll dissolve later on.
Hi, please shut up.
Whatever.
Yeah, no.
I like how in this universe they made it so that his venom strikes are essentially electricity.
Bioelectricity, yeah.
I love how he has time to go and get a new costume.
Have you
So-
been sitting here this whole time?
Yeah, I've been
Yes.
timing you.
And now it's time for the original trailer shot, the one, the teaser that everyone got early on.
Spray painted black.
Because it's edgy.
And
Cool.
you've a new black Spider-Man. Though, I will admit, his costume does look pretty awesome.
It does.
It's a leap of faith indeed. Can you
Well, you have to
imagine
pay
what would
for
happen
those.
if that did not turn out well?
That'd be a pretty dark ending. Have you seen how it should have ended of this film?
No.
Nah, not yet.
Let me guess, his powers failed during this fall and he got crushed down.
No. I might show you guys that after.
Oh, wait. Isn't that like the one where, they end up meeting up with, like, TASM Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire as well?
I'm not sure about that. I'll show you after we're done with this.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. I think this version of Miles also has the whole ability to create his own web without web shooters, I think.
No, actually, the previous scenes of Aunt May gave him a pair of web shooters.
Oh, never mind then.
The Trust Us Bank. Yeah, sure. I'm quite happy to trust a bank that tells me to trust them.
Okay, I think I'm confident now.
Whee.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man takes the bus, except the one that can't fit in the bus. I mean, one of them's voiced by Nicolas Cage, and all this is bound to show up at some point.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, so
definitely.
very close.
Yeah, yeah. Don't mention pigs right near Spider-Man. Hey, that'd be a pretty easy disguise. Yeah.
Actually, it is
Yeah,
that
it's
easy.
that
Barely
easy.
an inconvenience.
No.
Spidey.
Don't freeze! Don't freeze!
Yeah, it's not your MJ now. Pay attention.
Whoa.
Spider-Man, now's not the
Damn
time.
it.
The power of Bona has compelled him.
Look, Peter, just looking at you reminds me of, oh, we're doing this. All right, then. They've got the piano playing and everything.
Yeah.
No, it's more than bread.
Dude, no. Stop what you're doing.
No. Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's not the right one. She just lost her husband, you prick. You're saying Miles wasn't ready.
Yeah. He's projecting. He seems to do that a lot, actually.
Yeah, you gotta focus.
All right. Let's try these again.
Yeah, all right. Let's do it let's start one last time. My name's the Kingpin, and I want to bring my wife and kid back.
Always at the last second.
Too late.
No. That's the thing. They want it to occur first so that they can go home eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what good is that if they're dead?
Oh, they won't necessarily be dead if they go for the portal. Great power comes great responsibility. And since I'm probably the most recognizable of the Spider-Man, I probably have the best power of all since I'm the Spider-Man who has had the most feats in my Marvel universe. No, seriously. Spider-Man is quite possibly the most amount of feats compared to, like, even Squirrel Girl. Uh-oh.
Hi.
I've seen enough tentacle hentai to know where this is going. Gotta give Fisk credit, he came prepared.
Ow. So close. I thought that was the LJN logo for a second. Ow. Yeah,
Stop
quit
hitting yourself.
Stop hitting yourself.
No, the arms are rebelling against you.
It's like Spider-Man 2.
Oh, one punch! We like you now.
That's not the time.
Yeah, John, focus on the task at hand.
Kid, let's just say having kids is a whole nother challenge in and of itself. And God forbid they get kidnapped by your worst enemy.
Yeah, turn it up, or I'll go X-Men Origins Wolverine on.
Oh, God.
That's the fate worse than death. Or in this universe, anyway.
Wow, it's a whole New York City
Yeah.
of different universes.
Multiples, actually. Just colliding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
looks
cool,
cool.
but it can also kill you if you're not careful.
jab, slick.
He even uses 1940s insults.
Oh no.
I guess you're pretty harmless right about now. Oh,
Ow.
you are a cartoon, by the way.
Oh, snap.
Blammo.
Dang.
Yeah. You do not insult cartoons and get away with it.
Oh no.
Oh no, the spider bot. Ha ha! I get it.
Seriously.
He saved Gwen Dwibs. And Shiroi.
This time he did it.
Yeah, well, yeah. well, don't like you to hit the ground this time.
Nah, just would have fallen to her death.
And
Thank you,
Well,
Optimus Prime!
well, we did already have a
Remember,
we
he
already
died for your sins, Joseph.
Yeah.
well, we already did have a huge battle with Doc Cook anyway, so yeah. Where did the thing go?
It's somewhere in all
there
this
is no
chaos.
roof. There is no roof here.
Well, then find the wall. There we go.
Didn't.
Ouch.
Oh.
It's okay, though.
It's alright. The spider is alright. It's just the robot her dad built isn't.
Well, we can always just go Big Hero 6 on this and make another one. Yeah, I'll admit, this is kind of where the movie falters a bit when we found out she could just make another robot. It would have been a bit better if they mentioned the detail that her father was the one who made it, but they don't, sadly.
Yeah, there's billions of more of you.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
There's one universe where you have a kid. There's another universe where you're a werewolf.
Yes.
There's another universe where you work with Draco. Wait, no, that was 616.
So back she goes to the world of anime.
Aww.
It'll be black and
It's
white
colorful,
by
I don't understand.
the time. It'll be black and white by the time you get back.
That'll...
Are we
Oh!
allowed to say that legally?
I guess.
I mean, Warner Brothers hasn't sued Sony, so
Hey, it's not as bad as the time of when Black Cat tried to hit on Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe. For context sake, she's like 27, and Peter at the time was 15 or 16. She threw up when she figured out he was just a kid after kissing him.
well, at least she's not.
Obviously, I'll be interested.
Just a best friend.
Well, we'll see you guys in 2022 then. That's when the sequel's supposed to come out.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Hold on, time for a fan service moment. Again!
Yeah, that's an impasse.
You gotta go fix your own life. Just
Throwing that
pray
right
to
back
the
at me, are you, kid?
just pray to God the writers actually just let you grow up.
Don't worry, Jover. None of the comic book writers wrote this one.
Honestly, there was one who would have worked out though. J. Michael Straczynski arguably wrote
What
one
did
of
I
the
miss?
best eras.
Everyone's gone. Now it's up
Well,
to Miles
Jover, his,
defeating the Kingpin.
Well, Jover, that's the thing. His recent screenwriting escapades haven't exactly been stellar.
Oh, you've heard about those.
Sensei, yeah, I've seen it.
Wait, he was involved? Oh god, I keep forgetting he was involved in that.
Yeah, no guns.
No guns allowed.
Just our good old fisticuffs!
I mean, be thankful this isn't... Actually, no, Disney do allow.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
and this time I'll be able to douse the body off in another dimension.
Oh. The irony.
Now they're all seeing it.
We don't know you.
Ah, a
Get
web
it,
of dimensions.
Mate, you do not want to be there.
Oh my god, this proves that Spider-Man did not kill him. Yeah, what kind of backup is going to help for this?
Like, what are they all gonna do exactly?
We're going to we're going to use our new dimensional guns.
Use the cartoon hammer! It's the thing he'll least suspect!
What's the sequel even going to be about, I wonder?
Yeah, just more
Could be
interdimensional hijinks.
interdimensional crisis crossover extremely easy to write, believe me.
Like,
It
DC
kind of
has
writes
done...
itself, to
Look,
be honest.
DC has done no less than 4 of those. Just come up with some reason to have all these characters cross over, bada bing, bada boom. To be fair, the real Spider-Man was tackled under a pile of rubble and you just one-checked him.
Yeah, he was kind of an easy target at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Ow.
How does that solve anything, though?
Well, in his line of business, it's apparently the answer.
Hmm.
I could just whack him again. Kingy? You sure you're not going to try and whack him a second time?
I'm actually
He's eating too
surprised he
much
survived that one
Why
strike.
won't you die?
Just whack him again.
Not a
No, wait,
machine,
I want to see where
son.
this goes.
Yeah.
Something my uncle taught me.
What the fuck are you
Now
doing?
you have to accuse him like he's a freaking Sith Lord.
Seriously, Miles.
Smile for the punch.
I mean, it worked, didn't it?
Cute. Thank you. Thanks, Kingpin. We could have never have done it without your help.
Yeah, Kingpin, and then J. Jonah Jameson not wanting a credit Spider-Man for
Yes,
anything,
Kingpin
twists the
says
story.
the
Yeah.
And this is how
Spider-Man,
is New
so-
York again.
Although he was arrested for causing mass casualties. Hey, it's the credit sequence for for the rabies Spider-Man
Yeah.
films, and I guess the
Yeah.
first Amazing Spider-Man.
There's a little bit of fan service for everyone, except for fans of the Amazing Spider-Man duology, it would seem.
Well, I think the first one had an intro kind of like that.
I guess.
Oh, right, the envelope.
And there goes the collider. I'm sure it'll never be used again.
Totally.
Hmm.
Dr. Manhattan, get working on that.
Long continuity, Joe.
Honestly, Dwebs, there may be a hinting of us getting a Marvel and DC crossover soon. Courtesy of Dr. Manhattan.
How's that gonna work?
It happened a couple of times in the past, and we can just easily have it as a one-off thing.
I
I
think
mean,
my favorite.
they're both owned by rival studios. Even
Dwebs,
You'd be
again,
surprised, Dwebs, it's
again,
happened
that
before.
happened in the past.
Yeah. I
one's
think
WB, the other's Disney.
well, that's the thing, though. Oh. Well, I mean, comic book-wise, it can work again. And that's the thing. My favorite one, I think, is where they actually had them merge into certain heroes. Like,
JLA Avengers.
yeah, that's right. Remember how they fused Storm with Wonder Woman and made
Oh no,
her...
that's the Amalgam Universe.
Right, the Amalgam Universe is what I was talking about. Hey, Dad, I think
Yeah,
I
I
may
think-
know who did it.
Don't worry, I know who did it.
Who?
Somehow. Some asshole with a gun. And I don't think
I mean,
Spider-Man
this is supposed to
uses
be the
guns.
sort of the Ultimate Universe. Maybe it was Ultimate Captain America who did it.
But Ultimate Captain America is supposed to be a good guy.
Is he the one that
Yeah,
went Hail
no.
Hydra?
Dweebs, that
No.
was not in the Ultimate Universe.
That was in the goddamn 616
See,
universe.
I love that bit. C-Mobile as opposed to T-Mobile.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
weird.
this
Why
one
are you
feels
hugging me?
familiar.
So awkward.
I really do.
Why the bad Brooklyn accent?
Gotta disguise the voice so his pops doesn't recognize him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll appreciate that, baby.
Left you a
Yes,
little
sir.
present.
From your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. What are you going to charge Kingpin with?
Murder, for one thing, since they should be able to prove that he killed Peter Parker. And, you know, for trying to collide dimensions with one another and endangering countless
I'm not
lives.
sure that's in the law book, Joe.
They'll make
Yeah,
a new
one
one for it.
last
Dave.
This is it.
It
for
is
reals.
actually the last time now.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it with the drones.
Yes.
And hopefully my roommate
Oh.
will keep it secret. Huh.
Yeah. So you could just rebuild or make a new one.
Also, why did you
Also-
give him a Rubik's Cube?
Also, and why Peter Parker
And
was
look
eating
at
a
that!
hot dog.
Peter's gonna get back with Mary Jane.
It's his dimensions, Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So next time, just hope you get bit by a spider that gives you powers.
Your life
And not
will...
one that will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not just an honest trailers of this film. There's also a pitch meeting one I could show you after this. Oh, one of them. Yeah. Can't remember. Was there a post credit scene?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, there is.
yes, there is. And I'm
It's
sure,
the same-
Indeed,
Tia,
there is.
I'm sure Tia
just
would
say
never
we-
forgive us if we didn't look at that post-credit scene, considering
Let's
what's
just say
in
that
it.
they saved
The best.
more. Yeah, it's not necessarily the best, but good stuff for it. But not just that, even in the credits, there is. This credits are actually very creative, mostly using frames that are mimicking the 60s Spider-Man show. But you will see. In the meantime, final thoughts, at least
Whew.
starting. Once we
Troy?
start.
Can I go first?
Oh, hey, this
Lives.
was produced by Avi Arad and Amy Pascal. I guess this
Yes.
was when... Oh,
Anyway-
that's right, she came back to the company after EA screwed her out of Star Wars.
No,
Oh,
that was Amy Hennig, Joe.
Yeah,
Oh.
go on, Lives.
But anyway, yeah, I really enjoy the movie. It was interesting. It was an interesting year for the Spider-Man series in the year 2018. Spider-Man got killed off, and there was also an entertaining but extremely flawed Venom movie. And then there was this film where Peter Parker also killed off.
Yeah.
2018 was one bizarre year.
Yes,
But,
yes, it was.
But, this film turned out to be the best media in terms of Spider-Man releases. It's got everything really. It's got all different kinds of Spider-Man, so there's a lot of variety. Got a pretty good story. I like the soundtrack, and the vocal performances were all pretty good. And as like I said, this is the thing from. This is the first time I've actually wholly enjoyed something from Phil Lord and Chris Miller, even if they weren't actually the directors. And it's from Sony Animation of all people. So,
Talk about a redemption arc for quite a few folk.
They're actually nominated in something called the Razzie Redeemer section of the Razzie Awards. Where
Wait, there's actually a Razzie Redeemer section?
yeah, basically that was for studios and or actors that got nominated for or that won a Razzie at one point, but managed to redeem themselves. This was nominated. I don't think it won, but I know it got nominated. So they are. That's one award it won, as well as the Academy Award for Best
Oh,
Animated Feature.
Theo, something seemed
Yeah.
a bit off about that line of Spider-Man there for a bit. Almost
I
like the
know.
colors were inverted.
So,
Also, I love that one bit that shows Noir Spider-Man showcasing the Rubik's Cube
Rubik's
to
Cube is
the
a new
black and white
invention.
world. It's now the one thing of color there.
So
Go
yeah,
on, dudes.
overall, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I can't wait for the sequel, even if it's a few years off.
It's okay, Dwips. You got Venom 2 to tide you over.
Oh no, here we go.
I'm
Oh,
okay with
boy.
I remember the cinema
that. That
reaction.
person who helps
was-
others simply
That
because it's
person who
true.
helps.
All right,
Aw.
Stanley. That's
Thank you,
nice.
Stanley.
Yeah.
Even
I think
yeah.
they both died within the same year. I think.
Oh, I think it's actually late
It's
after
after
these
these
credits.
credits.
Yeah, it's after.
It's at the very end.
All right, well,
It's
it gives
after
us time.
this.
It gives us time for the final thoughts as well. You wanna go next, Shirai?
Nah, someone else first.
I'll do it then. This is nice, actually. I actually saw this in theaters as well. I actually was indecisive to see either this or Aquaman. I ended up seeing both, ironically.
Both of which were great superhero flicks.
But anyway, on it, story-wise, it's fine enough. Maybe not super complex, but to introduce Miles Morales to a lot of people who didn't watch stuff like the cartoons and haven't read the comics, it's definitely what it needed to be shown. To me, the strong point, obviously, is the animation. It's so interesting in how creative it manages to be, but manages also to stay on point despite the chaotic nature of it. The score is fine. I wasn't that into some of the tunes, but that's clear the generational gap. I'm pretty sure it's more in hip with the new ones, but it's fine. For the performances, keep in mind this is the first time I actually saw the movie in original language. I think I prefer the Italian dub, honestly. Not thanks to any of the actors involved with this, but I kind of prefer the job they did here. The only thing that I would point out is the fact that most of the focus is obviously on Miles and the alternate Peter B. Parker. When Spider-Man gets a bit more, development as well, while the other three are just kind of there, just for a bit of eye candy. But they get their own time to shine for the final fight, so it's cool enough. Tombstone that doesn't get to do much, and I specifically remember a lot of interviews and behind-the-scenes stuff said that he was supposed to do more. Apparently, there is an extended cut of this, but I haven't seen it yet, so I wonder if that makes a difference.
Basically, folks, you can expect us to tackle the extended version for our
At some
Generations
point.
commentary.
The way what we did with Doc Hawk in this movie was actually very nice. No one expecting this to see coming. Even the design is pretty unique. The Prowler stuff instead is more knowledgeable to me since I knew the story as it came along. Again, a bit of a shame because Prowler has a set of powers and gadgets that are kind of cool to see in action. But alas, it was kind of necessary to fridge him for the purpose of Miles. Kingpin is obviously a highlight because of how imposing it is and how it's framed. So yeah, even the conflict between Miles and his family is less annoying and more, genuine. It's less on your face. Those kind of conflicts, but are like, yes, just get on with it. But thankfully here it's less, this kind of way instead more integrated, that kind of sense. So yeah, overall, honestly, this is pretty good. I can't wait for the sequel myself. So just to see the potential that can cause. What can I say? I'm kind of a sucker for crossover if they had the proper direction in mind, and these seem to be having all the necessary requirements. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. You want to go next, Chivalry, or shall I go next?
Nah, I'll go. Yeah, I basically agree with Tio and Dwibs. This is a fantastic movie. I mean, my favorite thing about it in particular are the visuals. This is a stunning movie.
So funny. So you went from, being confused by the visuals, looking like they needed 3D glasses, to now loving the visuals. Not that I blame you. That's sort of what happened with me, too.
Well, I don't even know if 3D glasses work for me anyway.
Yeah,
they're a bit of a strange thing to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since there are different types of 3D glasses as well, depending on how they actually did the 3D. So yeah, it's not something I actually choose to pay for when I go to the cinema, because I don't even know if it's gonna work.
Hey kids, remember the simple old days where you just needed a pair of glasses that had a blue tint and a red tint?
I remember those days, and they were always made of cardboard, so they never sat on your face.
And even then, they give you this shitty color effect that was so awful to look at.
Look at them nowadays.
They put, the colored foil on it, basically.
I know, right?
But I think the score works for the whole vibe of this particular the environment basically of that we're set in. It's not my type of thing either, but I do think it works for what we're given. Like the direction is great, because I remember some of the most memorable things for me after I watched this the first time in the cinema was anytime Kingpin was on screen.
See, guys, this is totally a Christmas movie.
Yep.
Well, remember we had a snowman the face of a snowman being smeared over a window. So it's totally a Christmas movie.
But yes, the merchandising theme was a Christmas album officially.
We promise.
Oh gosh. Who doesn't have a Christmas album these days?
It's funny how he mentions the Goblin using pumpkin, seeing as how the ultimate version of Goblin does not use pumpkin bombs.
Yeah.
I love all the characters in this, and I do agree that I think we're about to get the all right.
Why did I agree to do this stupid song?
Wow. The fans must have ate up that song.
The picture of tobacco? Was anyone smoking in this movie? I didn't notice that.
Well, it says there, Sony, they were the ones smoking.
Okay, here we go.
with
Meanwhile, in
Nueva
Nueva
York.
York, because it's time for my favorite version of Peter Parker.
Oscar Isaacs.
Well, yes, but you'll see in a second.
Oh,
Miguel
Miguel!
the 2099 Spider-Man.
Yep. One of the most popular
I
iterations
wonder
of
whether
Spider-Man.
if we actually jump correctly in the dimension. Yeah, let's start the beginning.
Earth 67. Oh no. And they're replicating the meme bit.
Wait, it's a crime to point.
Thanks to JJJ.
There you go. We finally got J. Jonah Jameson in this movie.
Yeah, I'm
Again,
pretty
I
sure
like
we're-
the end. And so it ends with Oscar Isaac in a never-ending argument.
Wow. So
Again, I
yeah,
like being in the cinema to watch this particular movie just for that ending.
your favorite Spider-Man, ATO?
Yeah. Well, he's in the sequel, according to the poster, along with Ben Riley.
Well,
Go
Wait,
on.
there's a poster for this thing already? The
Yes,
sequel?
it shows Miles, Spider-Man 2099, and Ben Riley. So go on
Wow.
to see how we're gonna explain the Clone Saga to the
Oh boy, that is. They have my condolences. That's like a landmine.
I'm sure they can do it though. I mean, I know it's Sony, but after this, I have faith in the team.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of recent Sony movies, I've liked the new Jumanji films they've done.
people. Anyway, go on, Shiro, or you're done.
No, I'm just about done. I mean, it was nice to see a bunch of these characters being brought together, but yeah, like 3 of them were underutilized. I mean, they were fun, but yeah, they didn't really have all that much impact. I guess they thought it would be good to just give a nod to them, I guess. Aunt May is interesting in this movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's tired of everyone's shit, and she's great.
She even asks Miles if he can help her get back into the dating game.
Also, she literally kicked everyone out of their house while they were still fighting.
I said, take it outside!
Well, at least Doc Ock was nice enough to ring the doorbell, even if she didn't wait for an answer.
Yeah.
Also, she's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I didn't check Dweebs. Who voiced her?
Who voiced who?
Doc Ock.
Let me just check the credits real quick. It won't take me long, don't worry.
Well, in the meantime, I can tell if in case you didn't remember and you didn't watch our Spider-Man Shattered Dimension commentary,
Catherine Hahn.
Thank you. The Alchemax facility is a nod to the 2099 universe, where this Shinra-like mega corporation called Alchemax controls everything, including the police. Anyway, continue, Shira.
I'm pretty much done, really. This, like a lot of people, this is probably because I've seen a lot of them by this point. I would say this is my favorite Spider-Man movie for now. And yeah, all right. Joe,
Yeah, that leaves me. Yeah, I love this movie. I will say this though, it's not without its flaws. Like my co-commentators have said, I think the biggest flaw is that they don't really focus as much as in the other 3 Spider-Men, and I'm like, yeah, I get that they're not the mainliners as much, but again, it feels a bit weird how they want us to feel sad about the Spider-Bot for Penny Parker, even though, as far as we know, she can just make another one, which, yeah, she does make. And it is kind of a shame we don't get to see more of Peter Parker's world here and there. I did, and again, Spider-Man Noir is probably my favorite of the Spider-Men, so yeah, kind of a shame we didn't get to see more of him there. That said, other than that, this is a really well-told story. The music is definitely good and works for each scenario here and there, even if I'm not a fan of all the songs. The score gets the job done. The pacing feels pretty good for the most part. I'd say maybe there are like one or two issues with pacing I may have had, but they're like far and few between. I love the takes on different villains that they did. Scorpion was very interesting. Doc Ock was a very, very welcome surprise here. It's a shame that they did Prowler dirty, but you know what the rules are. Gotta have some tragedy to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Shame about that. It's like, man, poor Ali has a problem playing heroes in Marvel stuff that die.
At least now he's gonna play a protagonist, so we know he's not gonna die.
Unless they have him die to be replaced by Wesley Snipes in the end.
That will be very
I
stupid.
wonder why Wesley Snipes being like a mentor figure or something.
Oh yeah, there's word that he may be that or Count Dracula in that movie.
Maybe not then.
Yeah, that's a different thing altogether, but
yeah.
It's only speculation now anyway. Go on.
But yeah, this movie is very enjoyable. What is very amazing is it's a very nice and ballsy move of them to give a movie that has Miles Morales as the starring guy and not Peter Parker, the most recognizable of the Spider-Man. It's movies like these that show that sometimes risk-taking can be good. When it's in the right circumstances here and there. We still do get the classic Peter Parker sorts. And again, I gotta love the pot shots they take at comic book Spider-Man 616 on the writers on that one. Hey, turns out Peter actually can make things work, and his life doesn't have to careen into a bout of never-ending childhood.
Not just that, there can be circumstances where he can be separated by Mary Jane without having to resort to stupid shit, like a deal with Mephisto.
Yeah,
because
and
things actually can happen normally.
Exactly. God, yeah. Again, I just love this movie for a lot of the stuff it does. I'm hoping that it improves, and when the sequel comes, we get as close as possible to equal standing as we can with all the Spider-Man, in the sense that we get to know enough about each of them. That's one of the things I would like improved. The humor.
One thing that I remember, Jova, that Lord and Miller said on Twitter after the movies came out is that they actually want, for a sequel, they didn't specify now if they can or not, they wanted to include Takuya Yamashita, the 70s Sentai Spider-Man, but only if the movie sold enough. Not just that, but I forgot which specific of the two actually said that he would also love to include the Italian Spider-Man.
Oh, yes, beautiful. They actually remembered Italian Spider-Man.
Which, reminder, it's not even a proper Marvel product, it's just a web series, anyway.
Wow, that would be just brilliant. And if they can get Spider-Man UK, then we'd have a Spider-Man for my country, a Spider-Man for your country, and a Spider-Man for Dwibs and Shiroi's countries.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, like I said, the humor is great. The action is definitely well scripted. I'll say this. At first, when I saw this movie was in slow frame rate animation, I really did not have a good inkling about it, but I'll give them credit. They showed that it can be done very, very well. The looks of this movie, they go to great lengths to make it disorienting at first, but then when you get used to it, it feels surprisingly natural. It's amazing how they get that to work. And yeah, it's one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I'm not quite sure if it's my favorite Spider-Man thing of all time, but it's definitely a contender. So with that brings our Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie to a close. But don't worry, folks, we still got one movie left for the Christmas.
Yeah, Jova, we lost Pedro. We had to pass a terrible Christmas between Rudolph and, that weird shit with Swan Princess, and then Batman basically got depressed and got a cat. You know what? I need a pure jolt of joy in Christmas. I want to go meet Santa Claus. Can we do that?
That's a good idea.
Okay, I just gotta set the coordinates, but where? Lapland? Poland?
Oh, I have an idea. A little place off, someplace close to the North Pole. Smearensburg.
Smearensburg.
That's a bit of a mouthful.
That's it, though. First things first, let's go and pick up Pedro. And again, Dwibs, let's not have another incident with him getting lost.
Don't worry, guys. I've installed I was going to install seatbelts, but then I realized Pedro nicked the money so he could buy all those cakes.
We'll just have to hang on very tightly then. Let's go get Pedro then.
See ya.
All right, see ya.